432 The Drop Radio. I am your host, King Drop, and this is your daily drop. You know, sometimes I come to you with information, it's straight from, that particular, source or thing. This one right here, I'm reading from what they are telling you. That's how cold this is. All I got to do is read from what they are telling you. And by now you should have the discernment to say, what the hell is going on? So for those that don't understand or don't know, there's something called the Strong Cities Network. I think we'll actually probably do a whole show, a whole segment on this thing. I mean, it's very detailed, but just in a couple of minutes, I'll just drop this to you and I'll leave a link so you can kind of understand what the global conversation is, you know what I'm saying, as we get into, or try to come out of the situation as a country, as America, you know what I'm saying? There's a global situation. If you ain't figured that out, if you ain't seen everything merging from, this trilateral health tribunal going on and all the stuff going on where everything's becoming international. There's no more domestic anything. If you are all about being American and the founding fathers and the American Constitution, you know what I'm saying? If that's your law, hey man, it's a wrap, it's just how history works. You know what I'm saying? We were on a land gets conquered and colonized, then it becomes a different law, a different constitution. We had another constitution. It was the commandments. And then now our constitution is the founding fathers. And that's what the Alex Jones want to run back to. Let's go back to that. Well, what was it before that? Before we were mutilated and murdered and it completely wiped out. You know what I'm saying? Almost. When we get into this and this stuff like the Strong Cities Network, yeah, it's taking away this particular constitution. This particular constitution was not meant to last. It was temporary to roll out the big picture. So the entities or the principalities that are behind all this stuff, behind the puppet show, have used these colonists. They've used the sons and daughters of the colonizers. They sent them places just to keep them there like a chess move and then, move something else in. And now something else is getting moved in. This Strong Cities Network is pretty much like a global police, man. It's like one police force, you know what I'm saying? You break a law, you break an international law. They all got one law. It's going to be one currency. You heard all the jargon, NWO, New World Order, all this type of stuff. Yeah, man. Global police. What do you think comes with that? Everybody now, Obama, Putin, China, they're all giving all these soldiers to the UN. The UN peacekeepers are essentially going to be this Strong Cities, police force. But they're calling it a Strong Cities Network. So everybody around the world is joining up into this Strong Cities Network. And this is what they're calling it. Cities are vital partners in international efforts to build social cohesion and resilience to violent extremism. So, of course, it's going to be around terror. You can wrap anything around terror. That just goes and goes and goes because terror doesn't have a visual to it. There's no real image. You can put any image on terror and say, I'm doing this in the name of terror. I'm doing that in the name of terror. You ain't never got to prove anything. When we realize, when we wake up and our eyes open up, hold up. Who's the terrorist? Who's terrorizing who? Who terrorized my people? Who terrorized your people? Who terrorized your people? And then turn around and call everybody else terrorists. So this is where we're living. This is how we're doing it. This is where we're at. It's a psychological game. So yeah, they want to do something against violent extremism. Local communities and authorities are the most credible and persuasive voices to challenge violent extremism in all forms and manifestations in the local context. While many cities and local authorities are developing innovative responses to address this challenge, no systematic efforts are in place to share experiences, pool resources, and build a community of cities to inspire local action on a global scale. This global talk wasn't the same, 100 years ago it wasn't globe. It used to be world. Now it became globe, global, globalist. It's a pseudoscience to it. But you gotta start to look at things with different lenses. You can't be afraid. Challenge what you've been taught since you was 2 years old about this globe. They want to inspire local action on a global scale. They quote, "The Strong Cities Network will serve as a vital tool to strengthen capacity building and improve collaboration This is from the Attorney General, Loretta Lynch. So this is what she's kicking. You know, the sister, you know what I mean? She's, you know, she's doing her thing. She's in the public eye, but you still got to, you know, they look like you. I know. It's tough. They look like you, but you got to pay attention and why they there and what they saying. All right. She's saying the Strong Cities Network will serve as a vital tool to strengthen capacity building and improve collaboration with who? Attorney, you know, and then she says, as we continue to counter a range of domestic and global terrorist threats, this innovative platform will enable cities to learn from one another, to develop best practices, and to build social cohesion and community resilience here at home and around the world. So they're pretty much putting these cities together that launched September 29th. So they launched already at the United Nations. So while we caught up in whatever we caught up in, whatever drama's going on CNN, behind the scenes, this thing launched. The SCN, Strong Cities Network, under your nose, September 29th at the United Nations. It says it will empower municipal bodies to fill this gap while working with civil society and safeguarding the rights of local citizens and communities. You know what that means? Municipal bodies? What's that? That's global bodies. I mean, somebody sitting in another country, all right, filling some gap with civil society and quote unquote safeguarding the rights of local citizens. Yeah, right. They're infiltrating the rights of local citizens. There's no more law of the land. It's one world, one order, one force, one strong city, just like Hunger Games. Just think of that. Strong city. This sounds like it would be in Hunger Games, the Strong Cities Network. And this is trill. This thing launched September 29th, man. Look it up. The last part I'll read is this. To counter violent extremism. So we keep hearing everybody got the same talking point. 3 different quotes I read. Everybody said extremism. This is robotic talk, man. This is beta configurations. To counter violent extremism, we need determined action at all levels of governance, said Governor Mayor Steenberger Roslin of Oslo, while commenting on the participation of the SCN, Strong Cities Network. To succeed, we must coordinate our efforts and cooperate across borders. The Strong Cities Network will enable cities across the globe. All right. These people that are in on this thing, they keep using extremism and globe on you. These are weapons against you. For real. Globe, pool our resources across the globe. Pool our resources, knowledge, and best practice together, and thus leave us standing stronger in the fight against one of the greatest threats in modern society. Now, I'll leave a link to that on the Strong Cities Network website. You can go to strongcitiesnetwork.org and you can look at this and just see what they got to say. Just like you can go to CERN's website and they give you all the drop on how shady that is. These people are saying a global network of, this is their slogan. All right, strongcitiesnetwork.org. A global network of local authorities united in building resilience to prevent violent extremism. I can't make this up, man. These are robots. Everybody got to say the same thing in order to play the game. A global network. So we're back to the globe. You just got global and extremism in one sentence. Right after I just told you this is what they keep doing. I did not plan that. So, you know, for real, y'all got to pay attention. A global network of local authorities united in building resilience to prevent violent extremism. The Strong Cities Network will be spearheaded by an international steering committee. Who the hell is that? France? Britain? Who's the international steering committee? What country? What country got the drop on the entire Strong Cities Network? Please believe it's the powers that be. Please believe it's the principalities at B. The Strong Cities Network will be spearheaded by an international steering committee of cities and local authorities selected from different regions across the globe. I wish I had my echo on y'all. Open your eyes and remember, stay up, suit up, choose up.
432thedrop.com.
This is your daily drop.
Yeah!